It's Drawing with Johnny.
All right. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the show. This is Drawing with Johnny. This is a little test run. If you're joining me on the phone, anywhere else, we're live on YouTube as well. So get in and get ready. We're going to draw some cartoons. We've got a little drawing device here, so let's get started. Got my little ink tray. We're going to be drawing some birds up here in the treehouse. So let's kind of get going. We're going to start with some parrots here. Ooh, this is a little crusty. Let's get going for a close-up here. Alright, now we're seeing somebody. It's a little parrot friend here. There's just some stuff on that. Get out of there. Alright, drawing some little feet here. Let's do a little branch. Alright, gotta get a little more ink on this pen here. Alright, we got a little bird. Got a little bird. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright. Let's do a flamingo here. And this is just from memory. I'm kind of guessing here. That looks about good. Oh yeah, that's right. Their beaks kind of bend down. Alright. Boy, this thing is gunk. Not too bad. We'll just say they have a big old knee like that. We'll do this. Classic flamingo. Doing the peace sign. Here we go. Alright. This is my little scrap paper here on the side. It's kind of so I can clean the brush as we're going. Alright, now let's go for a little toucan. Alright. You got a big old beak. A big old spot on the top. Yeah, something like that. Kind of like a little design. But, and they always have kind of like an eye within the eye. There we go. That's just a little tree branch there. I got a big old kind of white belly. Let's get some over here. Let the ink flow. pen is getting a little crusty. But there we go. We got some birds. We got some birds. It's a good little warm up. Hello. Thank you guys for joining. And let's party. If you want to make some requests, hop onto YouTube. That's where the fun is. That's where I'm going to be able to see the comments. If you're on the phone, hey, thanks for joining in. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every Sunday night at 6, but tonight's a little special night, so we're just having some fun. All right. Getting some more ink here, keeping it classy. We'll do a couple more little birds, then we'll get to the main thing. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's just do a little guy. Oh, that's not showing up good. You know what? How about we just switch medium? We'll just switch something else. We're gonna switch. We're gonna clean this up a little bit. I didn't clean my ink well for the last show. So let's just use this. We're gonna go straight to a brush. We're gonna do a brush here and get a little bit wet. A little bit wet. And we'll kind of just dip it in the ink here. Gonna do a little twisty twirlies. Alright. Now we kind of start over. We can have this just be just a whatever bird, you know, there's no really name for this bird. This bird's just kind of like, whatever. I'm cool with that. Alright. Whatever. That's good. Yeah, Ethan, this is the famous warehouse barrel. It's very classy. What pen am I using? Great question. Well, I was using a dip style pen here. Good old classic sharp nib, and this is the fine point. I like to use this for cartooning to get some nice lines. But right now I'm using a number 2 Da Vinci brush. This is what they use traditionally for comic books. Kind of back in the day, they do the pencil work, and then they do the inking with something like this. So I like to do this when this starts to kind of run out on me. I think I just need to clean my ink well, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let's do one more bird. Let's do another parrot here. All right. And brushes are fun because you can get like really, really thin lines if you really wanted to. All right. It's a pretty good looking bird. Oh my gosh. Toys. The toy show. Well, we know you might get a teaser in one of these shows coming up, so guess you wait and see. That would be pretty cool. All right. So I think we got some birds. I think we're doing good. This was just a warm up. Let's do a little just a little signature. Doot, doot, doot. So now that we've got our muscles moving, we can get on with the real thing. All right, so I had an idea. I wanted to draw somebody who's very hot right now. Everybody can't get enough of them. If anybody can get a guess, we're going to start drawing. And if you can guess who it is, maybe you'll win a prize. All right, here we go. I'm going to get a little bit of ink here. Going for a closer look. something's coming through. Yeah, we'll just fix that. Do 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 do. All right, Donkey Kong. I think we got a guess. Garfield. I'm sorry, not Garfield this time around. Hey, maybe next time. We're all about requests on this show. All right, but drawing our little friend DK over here. Oops, that's a natural habit. All right, here we go. We're gonna just do his little hair. I had a funny idea. I wanted to have him swinging in a tree like Tarzan. All right, pretty good so far. What do we think, Instagram? All right, excellent. Now, I'm just gonna kind of guess body shape. I know he's big and bulky, so we can do the shoulders, do a little belly. All right, and I wanted to give him like a Tarzan outfit, so this is pretty funny. All right, so here's his Tarzan outfit. We'll kind of just do some do some dots. You know, we had music on Sunday, but got busted for that. So we'll figure out a good way to get some good tunes. All right. Ethan says the Donkey Kong original game is what inspired me to be an animator. Well, I hope everybody's inspired by cool video games. Um, I think that's super awesome, Ethan. Ethan is an amazing animator. Um, so shout out to all the animators. And I do have another question here. Someone says, "Do you have any advice for people who want to do stop motions?" And I think you just got to start doing it. Um, how I got into animation was I just spent some time working on a little cartoon, and then when the opportunity came, someone said, "Hey, do you want to be an animator?" I said, "Why, yes. I actually have something right here," and I got a job. But for stop motion, you know, it was just working on it constantly. So if you want to do stop motion or any type of art, get going. You know, I think you just got to get on it, have fun, make your own rules. You got to play, you got to experiment, you got to get silly. And I think drawing cartoons is very similar to stop motion. You know, we get to be weird, we get to create something. All right. Well, this is pretty funny. Here, let's do the rest of the little rest of the little vine here, and then we'll add some little leaves to the vine. Doo, doo, doo. And then we can kind of do some stuff here in the background. And I'm just doing some just kind of loops. Some, you know, some vines that kind of broken and some are still hanging up. And then down here we can kind of do some trees, but we can kind of do it like as a fast motion because he's going fast. And once we color this in, I think it'll kind of help get the shape. We'll do some action lines. Now we're getting somewhere. This is action packed. I have seen some Sonic stuff. I think some Sonic stuff would be great to do next time. Rules are for fools. That's right, Tyler. Make it like Snake. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's see. Well, how about we'll do this? We'll do a little snake in the background. He's like, what? All right. That's pretty good. And now we'll kind of do some little action lines. Some little shadies. Do, 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 do. This is very comic book stuff. I think it's just fun to do. I think as much detail is okay. And there's kind of no rules to this. I'm just going on the sides. Kind of just where the edge is. Just some little lines. Doot, doot, doot. Maybe a little bit down here. Maybe a little bit on the feet. Just like little tiny things. Alright. This is pretty good. And now, we're just going to wait for that to dry. Hi, everybody. Alright, well, how's everyone doing? Well, I appreciate that. Some Sonic figures. That's great. Tyler, thank you. Can we do a shout out to Sophie? Absolutely, we can do a shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Sophie. We're going to do a horse. We're going to incorporate a horse in the next drawing. We're going to figure that out. Whatever we can do for Sophie. Shout out, Sophie. Thank you for watching. And thank you guys for watching. This is a lot of fun. Let's color this thing. So I'm going to fill up some water. But I'm not going to use that water to clean this. We're going to clean our little brush. Just get that ink off. Alright. Because that's not for painting. We'll get another painting brush here. This one works. Just get it wet. Now, all you friends on Instagram, if you guys want to comment and get in on this, we're live on YouTube. Appreciate you checking out the show. Just search for Johnny McHone. All right, party. Let's get close. Let's get some. I'm gonna start with some brown. We're gonna start with Donkey Kong here. That's not brown. That's red. Wrong. All right, brown is over here somewhere. All right. This is pretty good brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of paint one side of him first. I'm going to leave the top side up here open for where like the sunlight's going to hit. So I'm just going to kind of leave that alone for now. I'm going to keep the white because with watercolor, if you want a good white color, it's best to just leave it alone on the page. There's really no white paint when it comes to watercolor. So it's kind of reverse painting sometimes, which is a lot of fun, but very strange. Here I'm going. We're just... and I'm kind of just doing these round shapes because we got to imagine that he's kind of a round, big old round head. Oh yeah, and I forgot the tie. Thank you for calling me out. I wanted to fit that in, but I think we're just gonna have to pass on the tie. That's my bad, everybody. Really sorry. Yeah, this is Jungle Donkey Kong, and that's the way it goes. And you may see I've gone over the line. I've messed up. That's okay. We'll be able to fix that later. But for now, we're just kind of coloring. Kind of getting those shapes in. I think that's about all the brown. Yeah, he ditched the tie for the jungle. All right, now I like to go stick with the lighter colors. So we're gonna go to that yellow. So I want to do a little bit of yellow up top here. So let's see, get a little test here. All right, so we got some yellow. We're gonna do some yellow on the fingers. Why not? We're gonna do some yellow on the cheeks. We're gonna do a little bit on the hand, a little bit on the foot. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna spread that in. We're gonna go here. Do a little bit of yellow. All right. Do a little bit on the chest here. Choot, choot, choot. A little bit on the eyebrows. Oh my gosh, the jungle is loud. The jungle is loud tonight. Okay, so got that. Now we can kind of mix it together. I just got the brush wet, so I'm just kind of pushing stuff around. Literally, like you said, rules are for fools. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you see a missing part, you can just kind of push it back. Hey, that's pretty fun. It's looking pretty good. All right, all right. Now we can kind of go for a skin color. Now we can get that red. We can get a little bit of brown, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. This is kind of where it gets experimental, finding that Donkey Kong beige. And I'm putting the brush wherever. I don't know. I'm just kind of, all right. I think that's pretty good. I think a little bit lighter. Let's go, maybe go light color over here. All right, that's pretty good. I think we figured something out. All right. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of white on the top part. Ideally, when I do these kind of paintings, I like to start with the paint first and then do the line work after, but that's kind of boring and looks really weird, so we're just doing it this way. All right. And it's looking pretty good. We're just kind of filling it in. Doot, doot, doot. We can add some more color later on if we think there needs to be a little something else. Oops. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. How's everyone feel? They feel good? Great. Now we can kind of do some green stuff. Let's get some green. Let's see what this looks like. That's pretty good. It's a very light green. Well, we'll use it. Right now I'm just kind of filling in this shape here. You know, we'll say this is a tree he's flying by. Kind of do the same down here. And we'll do this one too. Kind of see this is like a little bit more watery on this side. You know, just kind of scoop it up, kind of put it over here. Scoop it up, put it over here. Scoop it up, put it over there. All right. And, you know, we might as well do a little bit of the same green for these here. And we're going to go for this. Spell it in there. Alright, now let's do a little different green. Kind of just separate them in the background. Just something a little different, a little darker. Why not? You know, kind of do that for here too. You see the water is just kind of on there. I just kind of just push it around. Doo doo doo. That looks pretty good. And now we'll kind of get a little green and brown. That just kind of makes a different color. I'm just going to try and fill in this little back area here. Alright, I think the jungle birds like the drawing. I think they approve. Alright, we're doing a pretty good job. I'm just trying to fill this in as fast as I can here. You know, a little more brown in there. Yeah, this is just brown and green mixed together to get this little darker color. I just wanted a darker color so that the lighter colors stand out just a little bit more. But we can go in and we can do some more shading on Donkey Kong. See how that looks. I like to do the light colors first. Oop. Get out of there, paint. Just push the paint away. That's all you gotta do. Push the paint away. Did I say paint? I meant pain. You can push the paint away. Alright. Just a little bit of brown, a little bit of green. I just keep getting a little bit of brown. There we go. My. This is really coming together, friends. Take some of that over here, put it over here. Alright. It's looking good, looking good. Alright, what color should the snake be? Anybody have any suggestions on what color the snake be? I'm thinking red. Like a reddish color, or maybe we could do blue. Let me know. We're going to wait for this to dry a little bit. Purple. Ooh, that's a good color. Purple. Oh, we've got two purples. I think that's going to be purple. We're going to go purple, everybody. All right, we're just going to get our brush a little bit wet here. Let's see. I think I've got a good purple color. Now we got to mix some blues. Oh, here we go. You know what? We lucked out on the first try, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't really happen all the time. So I just want to say this was chosen. This was the right color. This is the right color. Thank you, everybody. I like it. Yellow? Well, it's too late for yellow. So we're doing purple. I'm doing my best to see your guys' comments and your guys' comments. If you want to get on the action, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/Johnny McHone. Appreciate all you guys here. We'll be doing this every Sunday. This is a really fun test. This is a really fun drawing. Let's do some dark shading. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I think I heard. We're gonna have to check out the Tiger Cam. Oh my gosh. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, Fred. Oh my gosh, there's some tigers. Well, that's exciting. That's a tiger cam, folks. If you're on Instagram, you missed out. Um, all right, let's do a little bit of darker shading here for DK. I'm just kind of getting that brown from earlier. I'm trying to get it less watery. There we go. Now I'm just kind of choosing one side of him. I'm kind of doing under here, a little shadow from his face. Can do his forehead. Do a little bit there. Let's see, I'm taking some away over here and I'm bringing it over here just because it's a little too wet and dark on this side. So we're kind of picking it up and scooping it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going to fill in this little spot that I forgot. All right. I think I can even use this brown to kind of do a little bit of shading down by the feet. That's pretty good. Even on some of the hands. You can kind of do a little bit of cheeks here. We just kind of made this hand into a cube. You know, that works for me. That's good. I think this is great. Now we can get the yellow color. I think, that comment earlier can really help with the Donkey Kong outfit. So we're going to go for that. Hey, thanks for checking out the show. And if you were influenced by it, I really appreciate that. And all the animation and stuff. So really appreciate you guys commenting. Here we go. Let's get some yellow. This yellow's kind of dirty. Oh my gosh. But that's okay. We're getting there. All right. This is looking great. Almost like a cheetah outfit. Yeah, we can add a little bit of yellow. Just here. Not because he has yellow teeth, but like the sun's coming in on his teeth. How about that? All right. Now we can even get a little bit of brown into this yellow. Kind of do a little bit of shading with that. All right. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Well, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy. Let's see. We're just gonna sign it with the pencil. This is nothing crazy. We're just gonna go jam 25. All right. Very cool. Now we're just gonna gently take this off screen. So let's go to the tiger cam. How about that? Let's see what's going on with our little tiger friends. Oh my gosh. That was silly. They were pretty active. All right. Well, like I said, we're gonna do a request that we had. We're gonna do a horse. Thanks for checking it out, Ethan. I appreciate you stopping by. All right. And everybody on the phone, on Instagram land, you can check this out on YouTube. I appreciate you being here, but let's be honest, the real fun's over here in the treehouse. All right, so we're gonna do a horse. All right, let's get back. Let's get our brush again here. Get our brush going. Get some ink. All right. Now, what should the horse be doing? Something cool? Let's see. I'm looking up a horse picture. Oh, that's great. All right. We're going to figure it out here, folks. How about a horse reeling up real high? Let's just get the basic shape first. How about that? We got some cool hair. It's looking more like a wolf right now, but we're going to fix that. Don't worry. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. You know what? We're going to need a little bit of a refill on our ink, ladies and gentlemen. That means it's been a good show. We've done a lot. It's been a good show, and we're drawn. All right, I think that's pretty good. We're just gonna color this one in. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna do a little tail here. All right. Now, we're gonna have fun with this picture. We're gonna make it silly. So let's put in a little cowboy. How about that? A little cowboy hat. It's a cowboy doggy. Yeehaw! Do a backflip. Little Ollie on the horse. That's my dog, everybody. We can do a little saddle. Dun 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 dun. Hee. Yeehaw! Pretty good, folks. Pretty good. Now we can kind of draw, a little desert scene. we got the sun. We got some birds going here. Kind of do some mountains. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. It is a pretty chunky horse. It's pretty chunky. We can even do some clouds. How about that? Really fill it in. You know, we can. There we go. We got a little horse scene. Been out in the desert. You know, now that the brush is kind of running out of ink, you get some cool dry brush looks. Rootin' tootin' toots. That's right. All right. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry a little bit. Yeah, I appreciate you guys checking me out on the Instagram Live. I'm still on YouTube. I'm going just for a little bit longer. Come on down. All right. Let's use to clean the brush here. Let's get to coloring. Let's see, what's the least dry? It's still pretty wet right over here. Come on, little doggy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a different color out of the way. So let's get that brown. All right. Do. All right. Even do a little bit of the back mountains here. But not too much. We're gonna add some red color back there. Let's do that. Let's get some red. Yeah, here we go. You know, I'm just kind of scooting it around. You know, we're gonna do some more. We're just gonna spread that red into that brown. Yeehaw! We don't draw much of the desert up here in the jungle. All right. Now we're gonna go for the sun here. Wow, that was so good, so easy. Now we can kind of add some of this yellow to the clouds up here. Can even add it to the cacti. We can add some to the mountains. We can add some to the horse. It's looking pretty good so far. Thank you for the suggestion, Sophie. This is a great drawing. Now let's get some blue here. It's looking a little dark. You know what, we're going to change this water out. Get a little clean. Get a little refill. Which one are we using? This one. Alright. Getting that blue. I know it looks a little gray, but here, we're just going to get two different blues. We're going to get a little ocean blue and this kind of bluish green here. And I'm just going to kind of put blue in different places of the painting. And then we'll kind of go in and fill it. Get some water. Just kind of spread it around. You know, this is just for the background. Doesn't have to be perfect. Seems like most of the paint is dry here. Take a little bit of that. Take a little bit of this here. Wow, you know what? If this was a movie, I'd probably watch it. In fact,
It's story time. It's story time. Let me tell you a little story.
so Ollie was the bandit. He was the meanest of them all. Actually, he was pretty nice. He was a really nice cowboy dog, but he had the mean demeanor of a cowboy. That's right. He was known as One-Eyed Toot, even though he had both eyes. It's just a cool name. So the One-Eyed Toot, he'd go out and he would rob all the banks for treats. And they'd give it to him. They'd say, "Oh, One-Eyed Toot, you got two beautiful eyes, but your nickname's just so cool, One-Eyed Toot. Here's all the treats for you. Just leave us alone. Even though we like your company, we want you to stay around, Toot. We want you to be the mayor of the town, One-Eyed Toot. Please." Oh my gosh. And so, One-Eyed Toot, he became the mayor of the town, and everyone loved him. So, the end. And we're gonna keep this stallion white. We're just gonna do a little bit of brown for the shadowing here. It just seems like an epic horse. Dun 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 dun. We'll give it some spots. It's almost like a cow. Alright, and now we're gonna go in and add some green. Just gonna do some on the ground, because why not? Just gonna give some color, get some texture. Wow. This is looking really good. Can't forget the most important part, the little cowboy hat. He's rootin' tootin' cowboy hat. Well, this has been a fun time. I hope everybody has enjoyed the show. Hope to see you this Sunday, 6 p.m. for some more drawing with Johnny. We'll do a tutorial next time. We'll do a lesson we can all draw together. For those of you watching on the phone, thanks again. But all right, have a good time. Let's check on some tigers one more time. Let's see what they're doing here. I don't see anything. Oh, there goes a tiger. That little guy. All right. See you later, jungle friends.
Until next time.